Obviously, last year we saw what happened with the Rams. They again, and I hate this narrative, but they were the one play away from beating the eventual Super Bowl champion. That's what we dubbed them. They had belts made and rings given and everything.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were
But
salty about that or anything.
no. I can't stand that narrative. They lost.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost in the divisional. Who gives a shit? But obviously they went out. They said, you know what, Cooper, go to the 253 with Eric up there. We don't want you anymore. They brought in Devontae Adams. Back home. They brought in Puna Ford. Do you feel like they've done enough to put themselves in that contendership for the Super Bowl, or do you feel like this back issue with Matthew Stafford? Because we've heard what Sean McVay said. It's like it's a little bit of pain tolerance, but also having to play through the pain. That's not good when it comes to a 37-year-old quarterback. What do you make of the LA Rams?
Yeah, Fernando. I mean, we were both there for the joint practice, and we've seen them a couple times, both joint practices. And it is a significant issue. Like McVay said, it's pain tolerance and it's functionality in terms of him being able to come out and play on a weekly basis. So despite that, yeah, I feel like they have done enough. And the reason I say that is their defensive line is elite, particularly with Puna being there. So I feel like defensively, they'll be able to control things up front to protect their back seven, which is, one of their weaker areas in terms of their defense. And then I think offensively, they could score a lot of different ways. I mean, you saw Devontae Adams and how he looked in practice. He looks like the old Devontae Adams. And then you add that with Puka in terms of what they could do on the perimeter. Tutu Atwell, has the ability to take top off the defense with his speed as a third receiver option. That tight end, Ferguson, looks pretty good. Looks like he might be able to do some things as a seam threat down the middle of the field. So you have him and Higbee at tight end. You have Kyron Williams and Blake Corum at running back. You have a lot of playmakers on offense. Obviously, the question mark is their offensive line. What's going to happen with Alaric Jackson coming off the blood clots? Is he going to be able to get onto the field? But they've kind of protected themselves a little bit by bringing in, Humphreys. And they also kept Quisenberry, a guy that's, has some experience in terms of the tackle position. So I like their depth overall. Obviously, I have a lot of respect for McVay as a head coach and his ability to the thing for me with McVay is, I mean, a lot of people look at him as a rah-rah guy, but I really feel like he's a very detail-oriented coach, and he lets his coaches coach, his assistants coach. And so he has some of the best assistant coaches in the league, and that's kind of one of the underrated things when you look at a coaching staff and a roster and their ability to get their position groups ready to go. So for all those reasons, I like the Rams in that division, even though the 49ers have such a soft schedule. When you look at the 49ers home schedule, and it's a joke. Like, they don't play anybody. So, I mean, I just feel like they're going to walk to 10 wins when we look at the Niners are playing.
I need that.
So for me, and I like the Seahawks too. It's hard for me to kind of not talk about the Seahawks because they did win 10 games last year. Sorry. And I think they're going to be better offensively. But I'll go with the Rams to continue to be the tops in that division and to have a chance to win Super Bowl.